All right, today is Sunday, November 19th. We're here on Fort Myers Beach. It's a beautiful day. Didn't come out yesterday because there was a slight chance of rain. There was still feeder bands from this extra tropical storm that, I don't know, it was rotating over Florida, and it was looking like it was actually going to slide back and come back down to Fort Myers, but it didn't, thank goodness. I had a garage sale yesterday, so it ended up to be it was a great weather-wise day. The people just didn't show up. I don't know where they were, but probably at the beach. But anyway, it's crowded at the beach, but I was able to get one of my good parking spots, so I'm happy about that. Got the back tires giving me some problems. It won't go above 53 pounds, so I know there's a leak somewhere. Front tire, no problem. Took the air immediately, so probably have to. First, I want to check the valve stem to see if that's seated properly. I'm gonna take it out, check it, put it back in. I'll probably put a little Teflon tape around it, and then I'll inflate it and see how long that keeps. But this week, since I'm off from work, I may have an extended outing going over to Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, or maybe Tampa or Orlando area. I'm not sure, or maybe all the above. Who knows? I might just go from one spot to the next. Anyway, it's a gorgeous day. I got sunblock 50 on, so here's some good music coming from Big Dick's at 320 St. Carlos Boulevard. Yucatan's playing some good music. Hopefully my camera is level. I got it raised up a little bit. I want to capture more of the sky and less of the street. So I've noticed that the employees from Margaritaville are actively on site, and they're taking up all the available parking spots all the free spots that exist. So luckily I was able to get one here on the island because it was crowded. Coming on the island, at least it was a wait. So these people here look like they're looking for spots, so they're looking for any of the other free spots, and they're doing work over here at Freestyle, not this building, but the other building. So they have a lot of the free spots blocked off. So I'm looking over here at Lynn Hall Park to see if there's any additional parking. It looks like it's low tide because of the water back in the bay here. It's low. So I'm hoping there's low tide on the beach as well. Oh my God, they're tearing this building down on the right-hand side. Wow, that's from the farthest of my thoughts. They did so much work restoring that, now they're just tearing it down. Unbelievable. The building behind it. The building behind it looks like they refurbished it. I guess the real estate is worth more than what buildings are. Sad. I mean, unless they're selling these buildings for $22 million, I can't see how they can get any of their money back. Maybe that's the key. Maybe this is going to turn into the next Miami Beach. And they need to build $22 million single-family homes. All right, good. Well, it's sad though. All those mom-and-pop hotels going out of business will force people to go into these mega hotels for mega prices. I have an opportunity. I went garage selling this morning actually. I didn't buy anything, and I forgot to make the end video, but I'll make it when I get back to my car. They're buying old FEMA trailers. He says if you buy 3 or more, you can get them for $20,000 each. And then he's gonna make a rental community out of them, and he's gonna subdivide them too. So it's gonna be multi-family. He said he might be able to get between 3 and 4, depending on how many bedrooms he has. He had to make efficiencies out of it. Beep beep, on your left, sorry. Hello. So he's going to make efficiencies out of these trailers. And I don't know how he's going to do it, but he says he'll get 6 to 8 people in each one of them. He's going to rent each one for bedroom for between $1,500 and $2,000 a month. I'm thinking, wow, right? I mean, space isn't that much of a big demand. So anyway, that's up to Punta Gorda. See this building here on the left-hand side? They got rid of their tent. I can see they're putting in windows. This building should be up and ready. It's far from ready. That should be the next. I mean, if you're a buyer, it's still standing, which is good. That means FEMA is looking elsewhere right now. So you have a good opportunity to buy that building and finalize it. All these buildings that are not rented right now. This is season right now. This is the Thanksgiving week. People come down. People don't necessarily come down after Thanksgiving. They come down the weekend before Thanksgiving. That's what this weekend is. So they want to rent. Now I see a couple of these places are for rent. Like the one there on the left. Obviously they tore down the tennis court. Somebody's going to put a tennis court. They'll probably sell that land and put a building on it or something. Or maybe Pink Shell has bought that, which would be smart for Pink Shell. See that building straight ahead on the right hand side? That thing should be destroyed. That's an eyesore, a fire hazard, you name it. There's bums living in it. The property is still worth $2 million, if not $3 million. So if you can get that property for less than $1 million, guess what? You're gonna have a lot of buyers. And because this property is fenced in, I know there's some kind of active either contract or, see, it looks like the property's been condemned. I bet both sides of this property are owned by Pink Shell. This building on the left-hand side is Flattery Limited Liability Corporation. That Pink Shell should buy. That would fit in nice with Pink Shell. They can call that upper Upseta building or something. They have a Sanibel building, a Captiva building. They can call it Upseta building. There is an island called Upseta, or a Boquilla building or something. All right, looking at the beach, yeah, it looks like low tide. So it looks like we have an excellent beach bicycling video. Excellent. So I'm also a chemist, and sorry to change the subject because this is like the quiet before the storm, before the excellent video. It's still excellent. Look at Sanibel there. Almost no humidity in the sky. The wind is almost at a dead calm at the moment, which is rare in the beach, because the beach normally you have the convergence zone between the cool salt water and the hot land. The wind is going to develop instantly, but there's almost no breeze at the moment. Probably when you get to the beach it will be. Anyway, I'm a chemist and I do a lot of pharmaceutical. And one of the things I noticed is I took some grape jelly, and I don't know the brand, but I wanted to sweeten up my tea. I was making hot tea in the evenings, try to keep myself awake. I didn't want the coffee, the caffeine, but I was taking black tea, adding grape jelly to it, and then steeping it in hot, extremely hot water with the tea bags. That has been improving my vision. So there must be some grapeseed oil, something in the grape that's causing a very good positive effect. People are walking out on that sandbar about 50 yards offshore, and the water is only about an inch deep. There are a lot of seashells on this part of the beach, which on low tide there should be, but that indicates, it just passed over a shark-sized shell, that there is excellent shelling down the ways here. There's excellent shelling going to be right where the old Fort Myers Beach Fire Department used to be, right near Junkaroos. Anything south of Junkaroos, shelling is probably going to be phenomenal. So yeah, it's at one of the extreme low tides here. You can see it. The water is glistening just beautifully. Look at that. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but it is glistening. People are enjoying themselves. The air temperature this morning was almost 61 degrees. It was kind of, that's chilly for Southwest Florida. Although it's perfect for bicycling and garage selling. In fact, I go garage selling. I was garage selling up in Cleveland, Ohio, when it was snowing and 31 degrees, and I had a sweatshirt on and a bathing suit. I was ready for Florida and Cleveland at the same time. Garage sales up in Cleveland, though, are far few in between. They were okay in the summertime, but in the wintertime, people, it was too wet. Rare did they have a weekend that was sunny. And if the sun did come out, clouds, if you're familiar with the Ohio area, clouds blow in within an hour. You can have a perfectly sunny day go to completely cloudy, which in Florida is rare, unless there's a hurricane. More the other way around. A cloud will go in, the sun will burn it away. It's gorgeous out. So any building that's not currently rented is a buy. So if you're a real estate broker, real estate associate, commercial business broker, whatever. Oh man. Americans not going to Europe because of fear of World War III. They know that Germany and Russia, Germany and Poland are at odds with each other. Hungary is at odds with the EU. The EU doesn't like Serbia. They don't like Hungary. They don't even like, they don't like Russia. And of course, Ukraine doesn't even like anybody. Ukraine's definitely at war with Russia, but they don't like Poland or any of those other countries. Which is sad because they got a lot of free stuff in there, including U.S. tax dollars that they should repay. There is the pirate boat out there right now. See, it's coming. So it usually comes to the port around 12 noon. It's about 11:30 right now in the morning. So the water is just beautiful. So there is a slight chop, but the water is glistening extra beautifully today. Definitely if you're taking video like I am, this is the type of water you want to take a picture of. Which means that there's really nothing obscuring any of those extremely, the UV factor is really big. It's probably the UV light that's bouncing off the water, causing that. I'm wearing the Ray-Ban sunglasses with the extra yellow and blue tint in there. So I'm able to see this vividly. It's just gorgeous. And here's the building coming up. They're not even open yet. It's silly. But then again, if I was someone, I would buy it. You can get somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 a week renting a hotel room. Possibly more. I mean, I see a worker there. One worker. This is Sunday. I don't know. Maybe he's a buyer. Maybe he's the owner of the property. I would buy that building, make it into a casino. Perfect location for a casino. It's got property on both sides of that could be bought out. Plus, across the street can be made into a parking garage. And you just pass. All these properties. This property here on the left is occupied. It's operational. This property on the left-hand side, it looks like they just have pavers to put down. But still, they're late to the game. I don't see any cars. It's still fenced in. And then the Edisons here, they're the smart ones. They don't fix everything. They got everything up and running like a little less than a year ago. So all those apartments are rented at top dollar too. But there's no other options here. If you want a place on the beach, I think that's some good views there. That's at least $2,000 a week we're getting, at least. Maybe $3,000. Let's factor it. You can get between $300 and $400 a night. So that's $2,100 to $2,800 a week. And maybe Saturday, Sundays even more. So here's the pirate. It was $5 a photo, maybe 10. Who knows on holidays. So he lets the people hold his parrot, and then he puts a little pirate hat on them, and they take their own pictures. So maybe he charges more for that. We're definitely coming back on the beach. Look, people are even using the pillars, the old piers pillars. And the pelicans are here in droves. They love the the old pier here. It's making a great roosting area for tying their bicycles up in the shade. The tires don't expand in the sun and pop, which is smart. It's gorgeous out. Okay, last week, this is where I smelled all that urine being pumped into the sea here. I don't smell it this week. That's good. See a lot of puppies relaxing in the shade. I don't see that many boats, but because it's low tide, there's a sandbar there. It's only about, well, at this angle, this looks like it's about 6 inches deep. I guess the boats don't want to cross it, so they're farther out. Playing paddleball. Yeah, the beach is awesome. The beach is nice and hard and compact. It's making an excellent. I mean, I'm on high gear, and it's really easy for me to pedal. So thank goodness I've aired up the tires. Looking at Margaritaville, they still need to put the final Marsite Diamond Bright on their pool, but looks like they're putting pavers down as the patio around the pool. So that's interesting. They're thin pavers too, so a little cheaper, but still looks like they got the $20 each paver, so they have at least 100 pallets of that. 100 pallets with maybe 1,000 on each pallet. It's a lot of money. So it looks like they're grading the beach, taking up some of the seaweed at high tide mark. People are moving down. It looks like the tide's been out for a while because people are starting to set up on this lower tide area. The line of tide, it's still the first floor above ground level. They still have all the rooms. All the rooms are blocked off. But the second level above ground looks like half the rooms are being rented, and above third floor and above, all the rooms. So they're doing good. Most places we're at 50% occupancy as it is. So if they could rent third, fourth, continuously rent those floors at full price, they're making okay. I see a dog out there on the sandbar. It's pretty cool. He's playing catch with the ball out in the sandbar. The dog loves it. Definitely want to see dog. Exactly. Why come to the beach if you have to wear a bathing suit? All right. So the building just to the north, if you call it North Monastero Boulevard, more west, has been, the piles of rubble have been completely removed. The pavers, though, are still stacked up in looks like 1,000 brick piles. Must be about 50 of them, at least. It's worth money. Somebody with a forklift can come right in. They do have a fence around it, so they just can't come right in, but it would take them about 2 minutes with a forklift to move that fence, and then come right in with a forklift to remove those pallets. I'm looking at Diamond Head. They're all fixed. I don't see any repairs needing to be done. I take that back. It looks like they have some aluminum on their little beach restaurant. They're putting in new painted galvanized metal, not aluminum. So Galvalume, whatever you want to call it. Let's look at bike. It's nicer than mine. Problem with a beach bike like that, when you bring a really, really nice, like $2,000+ beach bike down to the beach, there's a lot of foot traffic down here, and people would rather be riding a bike. So I wouldn't want it stolen. So I wouldn't bring a $2,000 bike. I'd bring a bike that's cheap, like the one I'm riding on. Not that this is cheap, but I paid what is it, $70 for it. $70, and I have some improvements on it. But still, if somebody were to steal this, I wouldn't be heartbroken. I went to a garage sale once. This guy was showing me his $25,000 bicycles, like he had 4 of them. Thinking, why? Why spend that much money? See, these seagulls are pretty smart. They're now positioning, each one of them has like territory in front of people. So they look at people with big sad puppy eyes, with the expectations people are going to throw them food. The seagulls are smart. They know it. They know humans have a big soft spot and have plenty of food, so they're sitting there for hangouts. So there are a lot of shells. More shells down by the waterline. So the way that this beach is kind of angled, it looks like there was a lot of energy either yesterday or the day before. So that spin that was happening, that came up, probably did, it turned over a lot of sand, let's put it that way. There was some wave action. So I don't see any erosion. In fact, it looks like it actually helped put sand onto the beach. But it definitely turned over the sand on the beach. So some of the soft spots on the beach have been hardened. Not for long, give the sun 2 weeks, so it'll soften that beach right up. Ants in the sun, ants digging holes, and the sunshine drying it up, that'll make sand into white powder again. But right now, a lot of this beach is hardened. It's good for bicycling. Looking over at the library, it's still fenced off, so it makes no sense in having it. It's got air. It's got all the solar hot water heater. It's got the the electricity. It's got air conditioning. And it's ready to go, but they just don't open it. Yeah, I'm passing somebody on the beach that I saw when I was coming to the beach in my car. So that was like 20-some minutes ago. They're picking up seashells. So they actually walked from Little Sterile Island. That's pretty good. Someone I know just took a trip to Daytona Beach and went bicycling on Daytona Beach. They said it was excellent. They said I was actually absolutely right. They said the timing was impeccable. They said at 12 noon, there's very little wind on the beach per se. I mean, there is wind, yeah, but the wind really whips up right around 12 noon, and it stays like that till about 6 p.m. and then it dies down a bit. So he didn't realize it because they started bicycling on the beach before 12 noon. At 12 noon, the wind came, the clouds came, and yeah, he said it was a windy ordeal. But they loved it because they actually went the way that they went. Little did they know, they went against the wind, and when they started making their turn, they were with the wind. So when the wind whipped up, they had this big tailwind, and they said they went 10 miles, they were exhausted, they turned around, and then a tailwind basically pushed them all the way down the beach. They loved it. All right, I'm looking over here at Fresh Catch. This is where Fresh Catch and Junkaroos used to be. Junkaroos, of course, got completely wiped out. Fresh Catch, it looks like whatever storm that was did a little more damage. It took off some of the aluminum that they had. So yeah, that place is totaled now. So they're gonna have to knock that down. So now's your chance to buy it for a discount. The hotel next, or the condos next to the fire station, that's the buy. Hello. They did a lot of renovation work on it, and it's still boarded up. So I don't understand that. That's prime property. There's at least over 100 units there that can be rented out. I mean, if the price was right, and if they could sell or finance for like 2%, I wouldn't mind going for it right now. The problem is I would need to estimate how much more work. This is kind of late in the year to do, you know, it would take at least a month for permitting to be approved after the construction is completed, and I would need a permit, which may take a month to be crafted and approved for me to do the work, and then it would take a month after the work is complete to get approved to open for business. So, just you would have to start something like this in September, October, November, 3 months. So at this rate, we'll definitely go all the way down to Publix on the beach. It's too nice. Make a good time too. All right, so we're passing the chapel by the sea, or I think it was called. It was the big church with the blue roof. Again, it's no longer there because they wanted to go in a business opportunity with a developer, but that development fell through. So, and this church was uninsured, so they destroyed their property thinking that the developer would come through. The developer fell through. So it's sad. So, if you want to buy a big piece of property that you could probably get for half of what it costs retail, this church right here near, I forget exactly the name of the road, but it's right by that blue building on Acero Boulevard, that blue residence that guy had hope, lost hope, and now it's there vacant. That would be an excellent piece of property to buy a building. I mean, even if you're on the other side of Acero Boulevard, because there's not that many properties on Fort Myers Beach, people are looking for hotels. So if you have a hotel, it doesn't matter where you are, you'll get 75% occupancy. Whatever the rate is, it doesn't matter. People are looking for, they know Fort Myers Beach is a soft underbelly. They like it. It's friendly. Everyone's friendly here. There's no crime. They like coming here. Publix is open. There's a Citgo gas station that's open. Those are the two provisioning areas. Now that I just passed 2 Pennies on the beach, I should go down and pick them up. Walmart's only another 2.5 miles away down the beach. I mean, in Fort Myers, at where Summerlin and St. Carlos meet. So the water's nice here. There's not that many sharks. There are little tiny sharks that are way out by the reef. They don't really come into shore. There's a lot of manatees that are in the Back Bay areas. See, there's a lot of snorkeling offshore and the Back Bay. There's a lot of trails on Lover's Key to walk on. Boating is exceptionally easy to do and one of the most inexpensive areas to do it in. So it's a good place to come. You can come here and avoid World War III. That's for sure. So we're coming up to Publix already, which is amazing. This beach is just so beautiful. It appears the tide is slowly coming in, but because the waves look like they're building. There is a slight breeze coming from the east. I would say half a knot, not much. So when I turn around and bicycle the other way, it'll give me a half knot propulsion. I see some business activity. I know there's still a lot of construction, a lot of fix-up going on. I know that local contractors I talk to, the ones that are serious about doing work, they are booked. through next year. The ones that are trying to scam, they're finding it hard to find work because there's new contractors coming over to Southwest Florida from Miami and Fort Lauderdale, and they're taking all the jobs because they know that the only people left in the Fort Myers area are shyster prima donna contractors. They got this lofty vision of prices, and it's totally unrealistic to people who do not own $10 million homes on the water. You know, they're trying to appeal to rich people. Rich people have had their homes are completed and done already. They had insiders. They knew contractors. They got it done for half the cost anyway. But they're trying to convince normal people that spending 3 times more than what you should, and you can fix your roof or do whatever. So anyway, they're going out of business, which is good, because if they're not serious about working, then why be in business, right? So I had a neighbor come to my garage sale yesterday and he was telling me about all the auctions he's going to, both in person and online, all the equipment of these roofing contractors and other local contractors here that are going out of business. So good. Good. The East Coast are the ones that are serious about doing the work. They'll pick up those assets and be able to do the jobs even cheaper. I don't want to go into the details of the story I had. I had a contractor come over. He talked himself out of the job and insulted me before he left my property. I'm like, well, I called him up for a job. He came over and then talked himself out of the job and insulted me? Well, I didn't understand that. So I hope he's one of the ones that goes out of business. I looked at his roof. It was done so-so, but for the price, forget it. He used substandard quality for the price he was charged. So I think we passed Publix. Yeah, we did. All right, so I'm going to turn around. Santini Plaza is still closed, so I don't know. There's still a fence around it. So I don't know when they're going to open that up. I'm looking at the seashells here. I do see a nice big left-handed whelp. I guess I'll have to show it to you. The tide looks like it's creeping in, but let's see if this left-handed whelp is something I should pick up or not. Alright. It looked better from high above. It's a left-handed whelp, but I'm tossing it back. It's chewed up. There are a lot of seashells here, though. When the tide comes in, probably the good stuff is buried by sand. It'll turn over the sand and show more of the seashells, more the bigger ones, but from the looks of things, it looks like, again, there was strong wave action that pulverized this beach and compacted it really nice. It doesn't look like it pulled any sand offshore. This is the thinnest area of the beach is right in front of Publix here. The beach then expands again when you go south of here, and you go north of here, the beach kind of expands a little bit. But the beach here is still not that narrow. It was narrower. I see a pear whelk. I'm not going to pick it up. It was a nice size one, but it's got to be exceptional size for me to pick it up. There's not that many people bending up and picking up seashells as it is. When you see a lot of color, that's the best time to go to look in that area for seashells, because you see a lot of shells and your eyes get a little dazzled by all the color differences, and you won't catch the seashells that vividly. So that's when you see a lot of color in seashells. It's a good sign to seashell there, because you will find the seashells. Now this is an angel wing. So this is a nice one. It's got some barnacles and stuff on it. I don't know if you can take that off. I'll have to drop it into some fresh water with some vinegar. A teaspoon or a tablespoon of vinegar. But if you find a second angel wing that matches, then you can make a wish. That's what angel wing is. So I'm going to toss this back, because I doubt I'm going to find a matching pair. I dropped it really gently, because angel wings can break easy. That one with the barnacles on it has been reinforced, but getting the barnacles off will be a challenge as well. So it looks like there was some fish or something, some baby fish or some coquina. And these little birds are eating all that. I guess their parents taught them how to cut for coquina, so the birds are going crazy eating some of the coquina. A lot of the parent birds are out in the sandbar relaxing. They know it's safe out there, so they can just go to sleep out there. No dogs are going to run on the beach and go after them. So not running into a headwind, but I got to pick up speed here. All right. All right, now we get the speed up. Feels better. The faster you go, the lighter you are on the sand. It sounds like it should be the other way around. It sounds like because you're spanning more gravity over distance the faster you go. So, I mean, it's not like a big difference in weight difference, but you're spanning more gravity, so less gravity could assert its influence over you. Use over the bicycle. Some people, they just can't break away, so they have tablets. I understand that, though. I mean, if you want to read a book, I don't know, if you bring a tablet to the beach, there's windblown sand. It's imperceivable, but it gets in everything. I run the risk with my camera. I'm using my actual cell phone as a backup video camera. But I shouldn't be doing that, but I do. Beaches for all ages. Fort Myers Beach, just like any beach in Florida, you have a lot of elderly retirees that, just like Joe Biden, spend their time on the beach. It's alright. Beach is an awesome place. I love the mountains too, don't get me wrong. I love going to Colorado doing gold mining in the mountains. I like making the coffer dams and get my sluice run and my blue spiral wheel. Love that. I got a couple blue bowls made. I even have some sluicing dredges made. So the problem is getting that stuff to Colorado. On the plane, I can only carry so much, and I can provision when I'm there out in Colorado. So if you need to buy just like a shovel, a bucket, no, get that in Colorado. I go garage selling out in Colorado, $1 each. Get a nice spade shovel and a nice big bucket with handle for $2. And they have Dollar Trees out there too, so you get a lot of stuff from the Dollar Tree out there. It's the mechanical stuff like the wet dry rechargeable vacuum that I could use and put my sluice attachment on it, or the gasoline powered air blower. The problem is that when you buy that stuff, unless you're driving a car back, you have to leave it there. So the spade shovel and the bucket I had to leave at the hotel when I left. So you don't want to spend a lot. And I was there for about 10 days. I enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend staying not in Black Hawk, but there's a hotel about a little over a mile to the east of Black Hawk, and it's some lodge. I forget what it is, but yeah, the rooms smell like marijuana and smell like people been smoking in them. That's a downside. But you can overlook that, leave the door open, let the air conditioner run for a day, piss off the hotel, ask them for a non-smoking, and they give you a room that's like, smells like a chimney was going on. And then complain to them, they'll knock off $50 for the week, and they'll give you new sheets, they'll give you a new air filter. Just leave the door open, let the room fumigate, and then just bear with it. It ended up pretty nice. I always had the maid saying, "Why don't you put on the air when the temperature outside is 50 degrees?" I'm like, "Because it stinks like smoke in here. I needed the AC filters running 24/7." Couldn't understand that. Sorry. With every tent, there's a puppy dog. So this puppy dog sees these other two dogs going for a walk. He wants to go for a walk too. He wants to go for a walk. He knows the word walk. Yeah, sandbar is only about 6 inches deep, maybe less. I'd like to buy that blue residential building, but the problem is that I would want it for the price of the land or less. You know, if I get it for $300,000, it would be a start. I could zone that commercial, and then if I can get like, you know, maybe 2 or 3 stories of it would never happen. The city of Fort Myers Beach would never allow it, which again, that's why Fort Myers Beach is not developing, because the town of Fort Myers Beach are all communists, and they hate the residents, just like the people in the White House right now. I mean, it's sad. That's why you should never incorporate, because individuals can come together informally. You don't need a formal town council. And look at what Fort Myers Beach did wrong. They didn't help the citizens after Ian. That's number one. I don't care what they say they did. They didn't do it. 2, they built Estero Boulevard all wrong. They spent 80 plus, probably $160 million building a road that is silly. I mean, I never see wheelchairs on the sidewalk, and they built the sidewalks almost as wide as a 1-lane highway. They could have had a divided road with asphalt, a center 15-foot wide, all asphalt, the entire length, for a third of all the money that they spent. And we would have 2 lanes with a center turning lane all the way, rounded and even elevated higher. You don't need a sidewalk. Well, why do you say just a wide turnoff lane? Designate that as a sidewalk. Put some lines on it or something. That way people can turn off and park there and go to the beach. See, that's what the city of Fort Myers Beach didn't want. They want to control beach access, which is weird. Sorry. They're so anti people. They don't want tourists to enjoy themselves. They want tourists to spend $5 an hour at their stupid parking areas that they enforce like down to the second. It's horrible. If I was the city, I'd be trying to make the taxpaying citizens and the residents and visitors all enjoy it. You know, try to help them out, not try to hurt them by charging an exorbitant. I'd say, look, the parking facility is on sand. You know, bathrooms are not guaranteed, but it's free. Just spend the money in local businesses. We have a ton of people here. Anyway, this is the old Fort Myers Beach and Red Coconut RV parks. I was told they were bought up, but I've seen no evidence. I mean, you can put single-family residences in here, sell them for $1 million a piece. It would be tight quarters, but you could do it. I think they sold it for like $50 million, so there's not much room for profit. Yeah, the tide is coming in. You can see the waves are starting to curl. When they curl and they don't they don't recede at all, they just curl at the shore and then they break. That's a sign the tide's coming in. They curl, but they don't recede. There's always another wave ready to plow on top of them. It's a sign the tide's coming in. Now I can see the waves are bunching up too. And that's Diamond Head straight ahead. Yeah, I would not have a city, Fort Myers Beach City, at all. They've done absolutely nothing. They put a berm in here, and what did the Hurricane Idalia do? Took the berm out. So I don't know how much money they spent, $20-30 million on a berm, all for nothing. You know, they could have just asked the residents in an informal meeting, hey, could you just pitch in some time? We're gonna get some heavy material. We just need, some people, some, shovels and any other private equipment could be, volunteered for free. People would do that just to advertise. Actually, they wouldn't. People understand. If they rebuild Fort Myers Beach, everyone's willing to donate a little something to get it back, but they want to get it back better, not. Now they built it so every place is $5 per hour. What? That's wrong. It's going the worst direction. They wanted free parking somewhere. So Lee County initially gave Lynn Hall Park for free. That was helping a lot of the beach businesses out, getting tourists back here. Now it's $5 an hour again, or worse. So I don't know. Government, they seem to try to ruin everything, and they're trying to steal the best land for themselves. It's just criminality all the way around. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that because, we all know it. It's just sad. We want to do something about it, but government will attack you and want to throw you in jail for speaking your opinion or opposition to something. Which again is communism. And, there should be a way, an American way. If a communism happens, that should be immediately arrested. So these politicians need to be thrown in jail immediately. In trial by tribunal, they violated the laws above the Constitution. So no court of law, which follows the Constitution, can hear a tribunal case. The tribunal is higher than the U.S. Constitution, higher than the Supreme Court. And those people found guilty have to be given the death penalty. There's no other recourse. I mean, they could pay a huge penalty and exiled out of the continent. I would agree with that. If you commit a crime, that's a grievance that affects all Americans above the Constitution. You get it. There's no reconciliation there. You'd have to have every single American sign off to reconcile, and that ain't gonna happen. If they were harmed, if their loved ones died, forget it. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking. Anyway, there's a hotel here, this yellow one. I think it's called the Neptune Inn. It's still sitting here. It's got 100 plus rooms. Work is progressing ever so slowly here. It looks like, I'm not sure if they fixed the aluminum problem or not. But it's a good investment. It's got concrete walls. I mean, I would buy it for the cost of the land. They throw the building in for free, and then fix it up. Anyway, it's got enough facility in there for a little tiny casino, and that's the important thing, because you want to invite people that are outside the property on the property to gamble. Those are the ones that are actually going to spend the most money. They'll spend $300 to $600 a day. And they'll spend that every day. It's almost like you're renting an expensive hotel room every single day. And you get 600 of those people coming on property spending that much money. 600 times 600, that's not too bad. $30,000 a day just on gamblers. Passing Diamond Head right now. It could be more crowded, but there are a lot of people here. From the looks of the Diamond Head, it looks like they're at least 50% capacity. At least. I'm looking up at the balconies and seeing that there's towels and bathing suits. I see evidence of open doors, not just construction. These are people that live there. It looks like they have all brand new doors up there. I see lounge chairs with towels and bathing suits on them everywhere. So it looks like a good sign. And the property here just north of Diamond Head, Diamond Head should have bought that. If I was a broker, I would have interested them long before the previous building was torn down. Because they could build a Diamond Head 2 and Diamond Head 3. Uh-oh, the dog wants to get the ball. He's a beagle. He's a smart pup. So the beach sand here is exceptionally hard because there's a lot of foot traffic. I see people walking out to 50 yards to get to the sandbar. Yeah, the tide looks like it's coming in a little bit. It looks like it's still about 6 inches, but it was in this area only 3 inches deep, the sandbar. So it's coming a little bit. Again, the center of attention still is the Lana Kai because of all the paid parking available by it. And the Lana Kai has bathrooms that are available to the public, so that's why you have most of the boats out there. I'm not sure if Margaritaville is going to have any free bathrooms or not, you know, because Times Square got obliterated, so most of the bathrooms there were gone. And all the establishments that are remaining, you have to buy it to be a patron. You see, the beach is about 4 feet over the sea right now. Maybe 5 feet, probably 5 feet. I'm looking at people standing by the waterline and matching their head level up to the high ground. Yeah, I would say it's 6 feet maybe. Going up to hotels, it could be as high as 8 feet. Or even higher. It could be 9 feet. It could be 9 feet up to the Lana Kai from the waterline at this moment. At low tide, that is. Alright, we're going to go down to walking backwards. That's a good one. See the waves are building a little bit. It means that's a sure sign the tide's coming in. It's alright. Cerro Boulevard seems to have a little slowdown. Could mean anything though. It's gorgeous on the beach though, gorgeous. And the air, it has that tinge of a sea smell in it, but it's like a fresh sea smell. So it smells really good. But it does make you want to go out and have lunch at a seafood restaurant. It still does. Oh man. I can go for some tilapia right now with some barbie shrimp on the side. Nice lemon butter sauce marinade. Oh yeah. And then some hush puppies on the side. Oh yeah. And some onion rings, that's definitely. And then maybe a Long Island iced tea. Oh, nice. Now we're talking. I wish people wouldn't do that. I wish they wouldn't blast their music. But then again, I don't want to make a law. They should just respect other people and put headphones on or something. People are enjoying the sound of the water, the sound of the seagulls, the sound of the kids having fun. They don't want to hear this city, this I don't know, what do you want to call it? This man-made garbage. Some people may like that music, but most, I don't know. People have a wide variety of tastes, so they don't want to hear it. So the pirate walking with the umbrella has 2 parrots in the umbrella with him, and he's feeding them. So he bought like an ice cream bar, and the parrots are eating some of the ice cream bar. So he shares everything with them, I guess. Food. I hope he doesn't sleep with them. I don't know. So it looks like that tropical storm that just came through here last week did a little more. It pushed up the sand into this property. So let's drive down here a little bit. I want to see this big sandbar here. It seems like it pushed some of that sand up on the old Pier 1 and top of Mast, the Dairy Queen area. It may have covered up some of that stinking, broken urine, sewage line. 'Cause I don't smell that sewage at all. That's too bumpy there. Let's go back on the solid terra firma. You see all those pelicans out on the pier. They love it. And there's like a little shipwreck underneath the pier too. It's kind of cool actually. You can see it. We're gonna go on land right here.
If you can handle Janice and Jerry, it's like.
Playing some good music on the beach though, I have to admit. The ones that are playing it softly are playing the best music. So again, they still haven't fixed the bathrooms. You can see people are stealing cinder blocks when they can, so we get these night crawlers to come by here. Maybe visitors to the beach here are taking a cinder block when no one's looking. It adds up over time. So we're going to take a little drive down Cerro Boulevard just to see a Cerro Boulevard. Why not? The sidewalk right there is wiped out, so anyway, we're going to go over here because I know there's an access point. It's an access point, but it's been taken a little bit. Oh, thank you. Here's Times Square. So that pizza grill, that building survived. And you got Fudgery's gone. You see, now it's an ice cream store. I'm telling you, people need it. And then the Palaka used to be here. Again, they were uninsured, so no one's coming back. All these places were uninsured. No one thought there was going to be a storm as big as Ian. Just the buildings behind here that were made out of reinforced concrete, they're the ones that, it withstand the constant, wave action. They lucked out. Although they should have been smart. This Hershey's ice cream, he's not even open. This is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how he can park his truck there, but you should be selling ice cream. Because I know for a fact that Margaritaville is going to allow paid parking on their property, probably cheaper. And they're going to have food wagons here too. I mean, they're going to try everything they can do to make money. They're going to try everything they can do to keep whatever tourists have money on their property, which will be the smart way of doing it. Looks like they're actually making it wider. It looks like they're actually making the road wider. They're putting down some kind of sewer system, and then they're going to make that part of the road, which that's a smart idea. Make it have like a turning lane in the middle, which is smart. Because there'll be a lot of traffic heading down to the office, and Margaritaville's office is due left here, right near the Lighthouse Resort, which I feel Margaritaville is going to buy, as well as that building on the left-hand side. They're going to buy that building too. And if I was an investor, although I don't have $7.9 or $8.9 million to buy the surf club, it's not worth that. It's maybe worth $4 million. I mean, Silver Sand sold for twice the size, sold for 7.1. So if they sold for 7.1, then that's only worth half of 7.1, maybe 3.6. But I'd round up to 4. That's about it. Not 8.9 million. And the tuna skin was over here set up. They moved. So the 7-Eleven across the street there, they're still not open. There's no sign of building activity, although it's fenced off, which means they have a permit. So tuna skin is back in their store. That's a good sign. I like that. The door is open. It looks beautiful inside. They own the building too there, so really good piece of property. The enormous parking charge for $15 all day. That's actually a cheap price for this weekend. For the weekend before Thanksgiving, I would expect a landslide of people to come to the beach. I mean, there's a lot of people here, but so the attendant has a trailer here. Now this parking on the right-hand side, that's full. At $20, $25 a spot. Eats at the beach, restaurant open. That's interesting. So again, you can see the beach from the road. That's awesome. You never could. I think 1983 was the last year I can recall being able to see the beach, and then the last, the homes went up and the fauna got so large. Most topsoil got wiped out here on the beach, so the people that do groundskeeping, they lost out. I mean, there's still a little bit of trimming to do here and there, but most topsoil got wiped out. So it's going to take either the businesses here are going to have to pay to put topsoil back down, which won't happen. A little bit of ice cream. Again, this area was wiped out. This used to be a foot traffic area, but it got wiped out because the Kia Estero shopping center used to offer free parking. See, that's sad. If Kia Estero would offer free parking, or at least a discounted parking where you could buy and get free parking if you're a customer, a patron, then this area would open back up again. See, people are parking here for free because they know that no one's going to charge them on the right-hand side here. So that's awesome that they can park here. Not for long though. But it's awesome that they found this free parking spot. The police are probably going to ticket them though. If the private landowner finds that they're parking there, they could ticket them. Again, on the left-hand side, the building and land for sale, but they want like $5 million. Ridiculous. $5 million for a building that, I mean, I myself can fix it, but I would need the Fort Myers Beach town, whatever, and the Lee County building, whatever, to approve. Forget it. Yeah, the criminals have to grease their hands. This tri-power building I'd love to buy. There used to be a Blockbuster video store there. Go a little further. Go down to the library that should be open when it's not. I mean, let's face it, there's nobody here to use it. There's no schools on the island. There's no elementary schools here on the island. So, 3/4 of the people has still not returned because 3/4 of their accommodations are not here anymore. And the accommodations that are here, still people are not back up to snuff. They're still renovating. They're still doing work. There's a whole slew of apartments on the left-hand side. They're colored blue. They still haven't been fixed. That would be a good investment if you can get those properties. You just passed the old Armando's Day Spa and the Shamrock. They got completely wiped out. This building here, this Royal Scoop, they got a business down in Naples. See, we're passing by the Neptune Inn right now on the right-hand side. I mean, all those pavers alone, that's worth $10 to $20 each. I mean, you can make a mint just selling the pavers in this property here. And the pavers actually look like they survived, so you're okay. It's a good investment to buy. If you have $50 million plus another $20 million to put into it, I know it sounds like a lot, and you're going to have to recover over 40 years, but you put a casino in the middle of this thing, and you'll recover within 3 years. Well, maybe not 3 years, but you're going to recover if you're doing $360,000 a day. And you're open, of course, all year round. That's 300 times 360. So you could do the math. 360 times 10 divided by 3. That's basically what you'll be earning. So I take that back. 360 times 300 is 2 more zeros. That's $36 million a year. Times 3, that's $100 million. See, you can make that all back with gambling in 1 year if it's done right. You can make $100 million in 1 year. So if it costs you $70 million. See, here's the old Lee County government, Fort Myers Beach government building. Thank goodness they got destroyed. They're using these FEMA trailers right now for the government building. Huh, good one. But that's what they should use. They shouldn't stick it to the taxpayer. It's on the old, whatchamacallit, not Terry, the old Winn-Dixie Tops grocery store. And it's like a fort. There's a fence around it still, like it's an army camp or something. Ridiculous. I guess because there's a construction permit to rebuild. They don't need to rebuild. Here's the library up here. This library should be the Fort Myers Beach government building. It was built sound. It survived. Nobody uses the library. So why even have a library? Half the residents don't live here anymore because they got the Fort Myers Beach didn't come to their rescue after the hurricane. So, there's no private school in session, not for another year or two. There's not enough residents to fill up a school here. See? There's the library, straight ahead on the left-hand side. It survived. So even the tide clock's working now. There's electricity. This is the only business with green grass. They're still spending taxpayers' money watering the lawn and the shrubbery. But they're not open. So this is where the Lee County government should go. It's a big building. This could handle all of their departments. You could even use the top floor for a library because, let's face it, people don't use books anymore. So it definitely doesn't make sense. That is the town hall. Anyway. That's it, right there. That place, not being used. But they're still spending money to fix it. Doesn't make sense to spend any money building a new town hall when that library is not being used. It never was used. Ever since its inception, it only attracted bums to sleep in there. And the bums were stinking everything up. They were peeing in the corner. It was terrible. the hurricane actually did Fort Myers Beach a favor. It washed away all the bums. There's a lot less bums here. I mean, literally 99% of the bums got washed away. That was good. Now I'm looking for some soft targets here to buy. Like this Beach Shell Inn. I'm gonna buy some up here, but I mean, these pavers again were $20 to $30 each. These people had hopium. They tried to get this property up and running really fast. They did a lot of work, and then the city of Fort Myers Beach said, "Yeah, but you're more than 50% destroyed, so this building needs to come to the ground." I mean, look at that. They bought all this tile to do the roof. The second floor was like ready to be livable. They bought all this tile. I don't know why they put tile on the roof. That's silly. It's ready to go. This is a good investment here. And the front here would work for a good rental office / real estate office. I mean, I could use it as both. And it's got this little extended zone here that the secretary could be in. I mean, why use it for anything else? I can fix this in 2 hours. I could have glass in there in 4 hours. I mean, even the door looks like it's in good shape, could be reused. I have 3 people, 2 electricians that I know. One is my neighbor. I have another one that's getting his license. Both of them can come here. I can pay them whatever they want. Look at this place up and running in no time. That would make a good real estate office. So you have to look outside the box here, because if you keep looking inside the box, forget it. It's not going to happen. I'm gonna do some research on that property to find out. I mean, I'd like to make a coffee shop too. The best thing would be a casino. That's the thing. But I may have to start small with that property. Being here on the beach, then being here constantly, you're available to go to town meetings. You hear other owners. Some of them have lost hope, but they want to. They don't want to throw the towel in completely. They want a partner or something. Someone who's willing to do the nitty gritty. Maybe has a couple assets. We've all been accumulating assets. We all have specific know-how, some other property tools. We can do it. We have contacts. So it may happen. Like over here, these blue properties. Not this. On the right-hand side is the beach connection. They want, I forget what ungodly number they want, $1 million to that destroyed property. And Mom's looking is doing a great business here. But I wanted to buy this beach connection in 1989 for $50,000. I should have. It was a good deal back then. Now they want $950,000, and that building has to come down because it's been destroyed more than 50%. And there's new setbacks, which barely give enough room for a mobile home, basically, on that property. But there's some blue apartments that are for sale right behind it. This could be the investment you're looking for. Those blue apartments, I'm not sure who owns that land between this beach connection and those blue apartments, but if you're looking for a casino, you could put the casino here, and then you could have your accommodations back there, and then have some kind of accommodation, a newer, once you start earning some money, build the newer accommodation / parking garage there, and then of course with all your money, then you'll be buying up this property going to the beach this way. So just like the casinos in Atlantic City, where they have the parking garages on Atlantic Ave, and then they spans the whole distance between Atlantic Ave and Pacific Ave, and then on the beach side of the boardwalk, then they have their ritzy upscale. Of course, the casinos and upper floors are the high roller accommodations. They have the commoner accommodations between Atlantic and Pacific Ave, and they have the parking garages all the way even beyond Atlantic Ave. Atlantic City is huge, and so the distance between Atlantic Ave and Pacific Ave is huge. But they have all the guests and tourists walking through all their secured promenades with all their shopping malls and such before they get their elevators. Smart the way they do it. I mean, this is the Neptune Inn. You can name it whatever you want, but I still think the second floor escaped for the most part. So if you can get an occupancy license to get the second floor rented, and again, it can't smell like seawater up there, but if you can get it rented, wow. And then now you could buy up all this old Armando Day Spa and the Shamrock. That could be a parking garage too, because you'll need one for your casino. So you're gonna make $360,000 a day times 300 days. That's that's a lot. You're looking at 2 more zeros on there. You have 3 million, you have 30 million, yeah, and then 3 times 3 is 10. So yeah, that's 100 million. The key is gambling. If they were to legalize gambling here in Fort Myers Beach, every property you could times the value by 10. So even having a passive piece of property here as an investment is worth it. That parking lot over there, any parking lot.
That's funny.
Like that piece of property on the left, excuse me, right hand side here, that's owned by Diamond Head. But people use it. They park there to go to the beach for free. Diamond Head doesn't complain about it. But other people use it. This property, people are towed though. You park on this property on the right hand side of the blue building, and this is where Billy's Bicycles used to be. They tow. Now Sun and Fun Rental, they got the old Leaky Tiki property. Excellent what they're doing. Excellent. They got 4 ocean-going containers. They have jacked up on, looks like wooden, blocks of 4x4. And excellent. If a hurricane comes, they load up the 4 ocean-going containers and they can hightail it out of here. Smart. They've done it smart. That's low cost. And they're the only rental place on the beach so far. And with the looks of things, they have the money backing them. Let's go off trail a little bit. This is a little longer video than normal. It's such a beautiful day out. You got the goods. They're open. This little beach hangout restaurant. You just take a little peek here and see what they're doing. Again, this is a low cost establishment. They're working out of trailers. They just have pre-recorded music. Let's see, they have about, it's like 40 people, or maybe a little less. Maybe 30 people, 30 customers, which is still pretty good. Although if you're just nursing a beer, that's not going to make any money. And you want to get, if you open up a business, you want to make money, which is either gambling or charging people for full meal restaurants, or obviously charging for accommodations. So, Kia Shopping Center is the best. It looks like they're starting to put glass on the bottom floor, which is still good. We need that for a casino. So if they're going to glass it and still leave it in a partially developed, that's fine, because the casino, we need to rebuild the whole bottom floor anyway. But I take that back. The casino would be best on the second floor. Ground floor, hey, a casino too, nice. But no, the ground floor would be for you want shops there. You want something to offset the casino. Something for other people in the family to do. Whether it be restaurants or whether it be gift shops or whatever. You want to give other people a reason to come to the beach. Unless, the casino starts doing really well. If you start having, tens of thousands of people in the casino, you need to expand. Well, that's what the ground floor is all about. The problem is that once you have a casino established, when a hurricane comes in, you can't rip up that casino fast enough, I'm telling you. Casino, you maybe have a 2 or 3 day forewarning. That is it. And you don't want to make a rash decision, because if a hurricane, even 10 miles away, if it took a 10-mile deviation, that's the difference between a direct hit and no hit. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just really impressed with this tuna scan. So they have their own private parking. I'm surprised nobody utilizes it, because if you shop in there, then they'll probably, if you buy enough, like $100 worth, they'll allow you to go to the beach. It's one of the few areas that they don't charge for parking, because it's private property. I mean, there's a parking lot there. I don't know who owns that property, but that's worth a lot of money. And I know Margaritaville will want to buy it. They'll want to buy this property, and they'll want to buy this property. They haven't already. They're probably in negotiations to buy it. So you can see that they're getting ready. They're starting to rough it, but there's still no final marshite layer. The therapy jets are still stuck. They're raised above the. It's a beautiful pool, though. I really wish there was a lazy river here too, but they don't have enough room. So here's people painting. They're painting Jimmy Buffett's plane that they have parked at Universal in Orlando. That is Margaritaville restaurant there. I'm taking the opportunity. So they got the sidewalk done. So they're ready. Margaritaville looks ready to open. All the hotel rooms look done. They got the furniture is already in the rooms. They have the electricity obviously on. It's all been painted inside. Underneath, though, they still need to make the parking underneath the resort. And so I don't see a finished concrete inside there. I see like rough concrete, but I don't see finished. So they probably still need to finish that out. Who knows if they're going to do concrete, if they're going to do pavers. Like here, it's done with like paving bricks. This is the cheapest paver you have, bricks. So, but hey, you know, if a hurricane's going to hit, you don't want expensive pavers to get ruined. So I can smell the Lighthouse Resort. They have a nice outdoor grill going, and it smells fantastic. Like they have sausage with butter, and maybe even wine basting it with some barbecue sauce. It just smells heavenly right now. Oh man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see. Sometime this week I might be able to take a trek over to either the West Palm and go around Trump's place, or maybe up to Clearwater, or maybe even to International Drive Orlando. We'll see. Anyway, until then.